Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to go over the information in the course information / syllabus section of Brightspace. If you're watching this video, you're already in this section, so if you scroll down a bit, you'll see that our course syllabus is available in Microsoft Word or PDF format, and I just want to go through a couple of things in this document. Please take the time to read through the entire document. It is important and does include information regarding course policies, etc. The information up at the top is my contact information, but you will find this on the Brightspace homepage. It has my office hours and a link to schedule time with me. It also has my email address, so you won't need to come into this document every time. Our book, we will be using an ebook. The publisher is Cengage, and there's an online component called MindTap. MindTap will have assignments, etc. in there, so the book is mandatory for the course. And I will have some information on how to set up access to your book through Brightspace. There are links to the assignments directly inside of Brightspace, so it should be hopefully easy for you to navigate and find. The one thing you should keep in mind is that you should have received an access code from the bookstore, and if you have not, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, please contact me, email me, and I'll help you track some information down. As far as software goes, as each module is opened, you'll receive some information about the software that you need, but just to give you an idea of what to expect, later on in the semester, we'll be covering two Microsoft Office products. They are Excel and Access, and so you will need to download Microsoft Office from Brightspace. It is available to you as a student for free. So I'll make all that information available when the time comes. Okay, so a little bit more about the course materials. So your book, as I was saying, it is part of the Wolfpack program. There's a link here for you to get more information on it. The Wolfpack program includes the cost of your book in your tuition. So you should have received an access code from the bookstore, and I'll explain in just a moment how to create an ID and password so that you can access the book and access the materials in it. Okay, our student learning outcomes. This course is called Intro to Computer Systems and covers things like computer hardware, computer software, input-output devices, and various applications. So as I said before, we'll be going into Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access. We'll even be creating web pages, so hopefully you'll enjoy these topics. I'm going to skip a couple of sections. Again, please read through everything. I want to highlight your grade. Your grade is made up of 4 parts. The first is on quizzes. The quizzes are 40% of your grade. They will be available for 48 hours, but you must take the quiz on the dates that they are available. The dates will be communicated through the course schedule, and I cannot accept those late. Keep in mind that there are only about 6 quizzes in the course. So if you miss one, it will significantly impact your grade. The next part is 40% on assignments. The assignments are through MindTap, which is your book. They are also creating Excel spreadsheets, creating Access databases, and creating web pages. And I will clearly communicate all of that. The thing to keep in mind about the assignments is that I will accept them no later than 5 days after the due date with a penalty of 5%. The third is on discussions. Discussions are 10% of your grade. A discussion might be something like an article to read, a video to watch, and then answer a couple questions. Once you answer those questions, you will then need to reply to another classmate. Discussions cannot be accepted late either, and the reason for that is once you've passed the due date, the topic becomes irrelevant for the course. So it's important for you to get those done by the date that the course schedule communicates. And then finally, 10% on your final quiz. The final quiz is cumulative. Okay, take a look at the course, the grading scale, some of the other course policies, and what my recommendations to you are. Definitely checking your email, etc. do have a technical backup plan. In other words, if the internet is down, if your computer is not working, what will you do? If you live close to campus, you can always come and use campus resources, but please have a plan in place, and I will ask you to explain what your plan is. This next section on course policies. Most of the items in this section apply to across the college, right, to all your courses. But I do want to highlight the academic integrity policy. I take this very seriously. It is important that you're doing your own work. That's the only way you're going to learn. So I do monitor this closely. If a student copies an assignment from another student, both students will receive a grade of 0. If you're using the internet and AI chatbots inappropriately. In other words, you should be using the internet as a reference. You should be using AI chatbots as a reference, but you should not be copying and pasting directly from those sources. So please keep that in mind. Okay, as I said before, take the time to read through all of these items here. We go into a little more detail on Wolfpack. The one thing I want to highlight is the Academic Center for Excellence. You have access to tutoring for this course for free. If you go back up to the top under My SUNY Niagara, you can click on the ACE Tutoring and it will take you to their homepage. You can then find this button, make an appointment, and schedule time with a tutor. You can always ask me questions, but you'll get dedicated time from a tutor. Okay, back to the course information section here. There are many items in this section that I would like you to take the time to read through carefully. The next item is the course schedule, and I just want to show you very quickly what that is. I'll explain the assignments in another video, but I do want to highlight this part. Assignments are due on Tuesdays. Discussions are due on Tuesdays. With discussions, your initial post will be due on Fridays, but your response to a classmate will be due on Tuesdays. So you will post your initial response, and then after that point, you'll be able to reply to other students. Quizzes will be open for 2 days, as I said earlier, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I usually do not vary from this schedule unless I absolutely have to, in which case I will communicate it clearly. So you can see what the schedule looks like down below. And the first thing you should be interested in is the course information and Module 1. And as I said, I'll explain these in a little more detail, but all of this due quickly, January 27th. You have 1 week to get to those. Okay, back to the course information section. This mouse is jumping around on me. Okay, on how this course is organized, so you can click and read this section. It tells you where you can find things in the course. Class communication, as I said before, I prefer email, and you can do that through Brightspace or directly from your T-Wolves email account. How to set up notification settings. So in Brightspace, Brightspace can automatically send you notifications to your email, and it does that automatically for announcements. So when an announcement is posted, you'll get an email about it as well. This just explains how to set up notifications. You may not want to get notifications for every little thing that gets posted. There is an app for Brightspace. It's called Brightspace Pulse. You can go in and you can set this up, but you cannot complete the assignments through there. It'll be good for reading, etc. Okay, this I'll make available when we get there, and the last two things I want to highlight here, academic integrity at SUNY Niagara. It's mandatory that you read through this and answer a question acknowledging that you've read it, so please take the time to do that, and that's due January 27th. And then setting up access to your book. There are instructions here that tell you how to set up a user ID and password, right? So click on this link and it'll tell you what to do. But I'll show you in just a moment. Oh, there's also a video that talks about how to navigate MindTap. I do recommend that it's very short. It's a short video. I recommend you watch that. So to set up your book, you're going to click on this link. You should have the access code from the bookstore, and then you can create a user ID and password. Once you're done looking through everything in this section, please move on to Module 1.